welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, we've got topics from the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news to cover, as we always do every week here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us as we cover some of the biggest headlines and some of those interesting headlines as well. You never know. Sometimes we'll pull off a random topic that one of us needs to talk about if we find, something that we did.
That's like, oh, I'm muted.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You got muted.
What's happening?
There you go. I muted you right off the bat.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, I guess we know how this show is going.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, Mike is now ready to go.
I'm ready.
It's all right. You're still recovering from the mayo and the coffee from last week. That was pretty bad.
That was rough. That was really, really bad. I don't know if people realize, I was, so as soon as I drank that, the rest of the episode, I just had this terrible taste in my mouth. It was just awful.
Yeah.
Do not recommend that.
Yeah, that damn Will Levis.
He's going to get, I can't wait for when we do the live draft coverage and we have to talk about him getting drafted in the first round.
Yeah, so can we officially make this proclamation? Usually we try and do an NFL live draft for the first round.
Right.
That's the big one.
Yeah, no, we can't do all 7 rounds, 4 days of coverage. That's ridiculous.
Right.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. But for that first night, if Will Levis gets drafted, we gotta.
We both have to have a cup of coffee with mayo in celebration.
I don't know. We got to do something. No, I want the biggest glass of milk, and I will chug it.
Yes. Okay. No, that's fair. If he gets drafted, instead of drinking coffee with mayo, we'll each drink a glass of milk.
I want a big glass of milk in his honor.
Can we do chocolate milk though? Because I love chocolate milk.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Chocolate milk.
Also, I hope you guys tuned in to last week's episode. If you had no idea what we're talking about, one of the draft prospects, Will Levis, is reportedly deathly afraid of milk. And I just can't believe that this guy's being considered a top draft pick.
We talked at length about it.
Yeah.
And the ins and outs of all that brings, and then I drank a cup of coffee with mayo in it.
Because that's what he does, because he's afraid of milk.
Yeah.
So if you want to check it out, just go to the last episode, and you'll hear Mike's reaction to drinking mayo and coffee.
It was not good.
Yes. All right. So now that you've recovered from that, how you doing?
Other than recovering from that, I've been pretty good. I've been watching. Actually, I finished History of the World Part 2, the series, on Hulu, which I was completely surprised by. I did not catch that. You guys know every week I do, This Week in Entertainment. Completely missed it. Flew straight under the radar for me. But it's fantastic. I mean, it's I tried watching the movie in preparation for it. The movie, I don't know if it's aged that well, but the series that came out on Hulu was hilarious. I mean, from start to finish, so much great topical humor, so much, just like that classic Mel Brooks, really absurdist, just everything in the scene is a gag, whether it's a sight gag, a sound gag, the character names, the way that they talk, the way that they walk, everything about it. It's just constant little tiny things that come together to make a really funny, just hilarious scene. Really great sketches. They did. The one that I was really invested in was they had Jesus and the apostles pretending to be the Beatles, or not pretending, but Jesus and the apostles were likened to the Beatles of their era, and they had them all in the recording studio as they're recording the Beatles' last record. And it's just so funny because Mary Magdalene is Yoko Ono. And I'm it's just stuff like that that's just so the pop culture references, the topical stuff, just really, really funny stuff. I'm trying to think.
So Mary Magdalene broke up the apostles?
Yeah. Broke up Jesus and the apostles. Oh man, there was just so many good bits. There was a whole Civil War bit. The way that the show works is each episode follows small vignettes of the same periods of time. So every episode had 1 or 2 bits on the Civil War. They had 1 or 2 bits on Jesus and his life through when he started his whole thing to his last concert as one of the Beatles. So it was recurring sketches throughout the I think it's 8 or 9 episodes. But I think that had to have been one of my favorites, was the Civil War one and the Jesus one. But there's a bunch of them. You just got to go check it out. It's on Hulu. History of the World Part 2. Completely flew under the radar for me, but absolutely fantastic.
I think this might be the clip from the first one. I've always wanted to. This is a good mental note for myself. I wanted to get this clip. I think this might be it.
Oh, Majesty, you look like the piss boy.
Yeah, you look like the piss boy.
You look like the piss boy.
I got to make a note to myself. I need that as an actual sound clip. So
yeah,
there you go. I'm glad you mentioned this.
I think that's also the movie where he says it's good to be the king.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he references that like there's
in
a
like
couple
everything.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a common.
Have you seen
Mel
that? Have you
Brooks
seen that?
trope.
Have you seen that movie recently?
What now?
History of the World Part 1. Have you seen that movie recently?
I haven't seen it recently. I definitely have watched it. I loved some of the bits in that.
I
movie.
tried to rewatch it, and some of the sketches are a little bit awkward. I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
it's gonna be. That's an
yeah,
old movie.
It's an old movie. It's like what I think it was the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. It's gonna take some. You know,
Yeah.
you got to look through those movies with a different set of lens.
Right. But also, a lot of the humor, it wasn't as funny as I remember it being. You know, maybe it's a little bit more like juvenile or slapstick, and I guess maybe I appreciate it more when I was younger. But I feel like Blazing Saddles was always one of my favorites. I feel like that one would still hold up because I still actively quote some of the things in that movie.
For me, obviously, it's always Spaceballs. Spaceballs is just amazing.
I haven't seen that in a while, but I hope. Now I'm thinking like, man, am I looking at these movies through like rose-colored glasses? Like, if I go back and watch Blazing Saddles or Spaceballs, is it still going to be? I've
seen Spaceballs recently because I showed it to Rachel, and I still loved it.
I love Mel. I think I have his collection on VHS somewhere. I don't know where, but
yes,
all those movies.
The VHSs that come out before the movie actually arrives in theaters. It's amazing.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
Oh yeah, merchandising. That's where the real money from the movie is made.
Yep. I always had
Spaceballs, the toilet paper.
I always had an affinity for Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh yeah,
I would rent that movie from the library and just watch it like nonstop.
Of course, why not?
So good. Anyway, go check out History of the World Part 2. Go check out Mel Brooks' old movies. I still think Blazing Saddles is probably his like best, but there's tons of great hits out there. Young Frankenstein,
another good one.
Just like the hits never stop. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. What have you been getting up to?
I don't. I'm just gonna say this randomly because you mentioned old movies. I just like to say just. If you ever feel like you're lost or maybe you're not doing 100% with your life or you're feeling a little out of sorts, just Google Orson Welles and it'll make you feel better. You know,
What brought this on?
You were talking about old movies
and like, Orson Welles just pops into your head?
Well, no, I actually got I don't know, just sometimes when I need a laugh, I'll just search Orson Welles.
He is a treasure trove of weird, like he had that whole rant about the peas.
Yes.
Like you always play his champagne one, but the one that sticks out to me is where he's reading an ad for like microwave peas or something.
Yes.
And he's like, the comma wouldn't go there, it would go here. And you can hear the director.
Every July, peas grow. Yeah.
Yeah, and the director in his...
We know of a remote farm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. And he's like this pompous auteur, and the director's probably in his head like, guy, it's an ad for peas.
You're doing
just
a
like,
radio ad for frozen peas.
Yeah,
Get
like
over yourself.
read the script. Get out.
But... yes, it's just I don't know. Whenever I feel a little low or something, I just Google Orson Welles outtakes or something.
And it just picks you right up.
It does.
You're like, no matter what's happening, at least I'm not that yet.
Right. Yet. Right.
There's still a chance.
Right. There's still a chance. And at that point, I'll just be drunk out of my mind at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Just don't do the spit take.
Right. Exactly. But just that's what. I was just trying to reference like old Hollywood things.
Old Hollywood.
You went in the Mel Brooks direction. I went in the Orson Welles direction.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
It's two different types of humor.
Yes.
Very well. One intentional.
One not so intentional.
One not so much.
Yes. It's
good stuff.
Yes, it's so good.
Good
just
stuff.
if you're ever feeling down in the dumps, just Google Orson Welles. Have fun.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Yeah. We need to get to all the news at hand because there is a lot of news that happened this week. So we're gonna now jump from the past into the present. And we're going to do the first batch of topics revolving around sports. It is time for the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yep. Orson Welles almost broke my soundboard. It was taking a while to get to the sports sampler there. All right. So now we are in the interesting period known as free agency for the NFL, which is now capitalizing on the non-playing season.
Yep.
Because the NFL is just trying to dominate year-round. And, boy, when you've got an intense period of roster moves and transactions, you do. The NFL really has marketed this like the off season, for lack of a better word, because they don't want us to use off season. They want us to use the non-playing season.
Well, they let everybody know, this is when free agency starts. This is when all your favorite players are going to be leaving or joining or, and like it builds up hype.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing with the draft.
Yeah.
There's like a whole big media push before these like arbitrary calendar dates.
Yeah. And it's very strategic too.
Yeah.
Like they know right now is kind of like the biggest lull. I mean, March Madness is a thing, but
hasn't really like swung into full gear yet, though.
Yeah. The NBA and NHL seasons are still in the middle of their seasons. They're still slogging.
It's at the point where nobody cares.
And baseball is in spring training, which is somewhat exciting, but not in terms of like
it's preseason.
It's just more of like, oh, it's coming back, but not like I gotta watch every game yet.
Right.
That's not until much later in the summer.
Yeah.
So like the NFL they've strategically like picked this. I feel like they've done a great job of picking out like
absolutely.
This is our time to bring the big bat of free agency forward.
Yep. And boy did they.
They're doing it right now. They're having all this mayhem, all these quarterback dominoes falling. How about we start off with the draft picks first? I think this is this happened just to show you how strong the NFL is. They just did this on, they broke this news on a Friday afternoon. Usually this is when everything is trying to calm down. Everyone's looking forward to the weekend. And then
news just breaks whenever.
And then all of a sudden this story hit the wire. The Bears trade the number 1 overall pick to the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Doing their job. They are sticking with Justin Fields.
Yep. It was pretty obvious that they were going to.
Yeah.
Which makes it really surprising what the Carolina Panthers gave up for the number 1 overall pick. They got the Bears in return got the number 9 overall pick, wide receiver DJ Moore, who automatically becomes the Bears franchise leader in receiving yards.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep, just like that.
They also received a 2024 first-round pick and a 2025 second-round pick. So that's a lot of stuff to give up to jump 8 spots.
Yeah. But you
Do
know
they really
what?
think their guy wouldn't be there?
Well, I mean, look, the quarterbacks are going to go.
You think they're all going to go top 5?
It's possible. Because you have now you have the Panthers at 1. They need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You have the Texans at 2. They need a quarterback.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, they'll probably trade out.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're going to trade out.
You think the Panthers couldn't get a deal done with the Cardinals to try, instead of jumping up a full 8 spots, just jump up?
Well, maybe there's a specific quarterback they like, and they want him at number 1.
Yeah, and they want their top pick. Yeah.
And then at 4 is the Colts. They need a quarterback. They cut Matt Ryan, so guaranteeing that they are going to start their seventh different quarterback in 7 seasons.
Hypothetically, we could see 3 quarterbacks go in the top 5. That would be crazy.
We could see 4.
You think 4?
If the Cardinals trade out,
and they've done it before.
Yeah.
Or trade out. They could also just. They could also just draft a guy.
They probably won't because they've
done that
tied
twice.
Yeah, that is true.
They don't like a guy. They're just like, fine, we'll just go again.
Yeah, but this time they've already paid.
They've paid him, yeah.
Kyler Murray,
yeah,
a big contract. So I think they're stuck with him.
Quarterback factory. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. We could see a lot of quarterbacks go in the top 5, which is good for the Eagles at 10.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the Eagles at 10, they might get
we might get the top of at pretty much any other position. If you figure 3 or 4 quarterbacks go before 10, then that leaves a ton of talent.
I'm kind of just used to Howie trading down.
Yeah.
But this might be one he might not want to.
Like normally by the time we are on the clock, the top 2 linemen have gone, the top 2 cornerbacks have gone, the top 2 wide receivers have gone. There may be, like, I'm really hoping they go corner in the draft. We'll get to why in a little bit, but there could be the top guy at number 10.
Yeah, it could be, because all these quarterbacks are going to be going.
Yeah.
In the top
there's
5 picks.
There's going to be an offensive lineman somewhere in there. There always is.
Yep.
In the top 10. So just hoping that some of those positions of need for the Eagles drop.
Yeah.
But we're getting a little sidetracked here from the deal with the Bears because the Bears really did come out swinging with the most cap space available of any team. So they made that big move to acquire game-changing wide receiver, a whole bunch of picks. They also added a guard to bolster the offensive line. They signed 2 linebackers, one, of course, being the Philadelphia Eagles' own inside linebacker, TJ Edwards. So they're really they're just full swing ahead, jumping straight into free agency in the deep end.
My God! What the hell's going on tonight?
Yep, they've got Ric Flair energy. They are just
They really do.
I mean, they need it to, because they had obviously the worst record in the NFL last year, and they didn't spend a lot of money. So it's their time to wheel and deal.
Especially because that division is I mean, my view is it's going to be a little weak.
Oh, yes.
There's one big reason why it could be much weaker.
Because we still don't know what exactly Aaron Rodgers is doing. We're recording this on Tuesday night, so as of now, we still don't officially know. But the tea leaves, the insider reporting seems to indicate that Aaron Rodgers is going to the New York Jets.
I mean, everything is pointing that direction. And, in fact, I'm reading now an update that he's going to appear on the Pat McAfee show. He really is. So you gave LeBron so much crap about the decision, which LeBron donated the proceeds to charity, if I remember correctly. Aaron Rodgers is just a pompous words that I can't say on the podcast. He really annoys the crap out of me.
I'm a special kind of white guy.
That's how
Aaron Rodgers.
That's how Aaron Rodgers feels, apparently.
I'm a special kind of white guy.
He gave the Jets, and this is how we know he's gonna go to the Jets. He gave the Jets. This is pretty much an open, it's a rumor, but it's pretty open. He gave them a list of free agents he wants them to sign.
Yeah. One of them is Alan Lazard, who already signed for the Jets, so that's already confirmed.
4 years, $44 million, something like that.
Yep.
This is insane. Have you ever seen a quarterback do that?
No.
Before being dealt. Also, the Packers, why would you allow your player to talk to a team like that?
Oh, because the Packers, I think that they're done.
They are so done.
They are done. Yeah.
They cannot get rid of him fast enough.
No, right now, the only 2 options are either Jets or retirement.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no option of coming back to the Packers.
The only reason the Packers don't outright cut him is because they want something in return.
Yeah. They're going to get some sort of draft compensation back.
But it is wild that Aaron Rodgers is basically playing GM for the Jets right now.
Yes. So I made the joke during our dinner that Aaron Rodgers right now is technically still the quarterback of the Packers. He's right now acting as the GM of the Jets, and we've heard him say he's the owner of the Bears. So it's a lot of hats to wear.
He's all over the NFL.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
he has one of the best records against the Bears.
The Bears, yeah.
Just in case you didn't realize that. But anyway,
I don't know. What do you make of all this nonsense?
I'm done. I am so. Can we just have the official proclamation he gets traded? Oh my God.
We've been talking about this guy and his troubles for
I hate
weeks.
LeBron. I hate LeBron, and I absolutely hated the decision. This is absolutely just as bad. I can't stand this. This needs to end soon. Just someone make the official proclamation that he got traded already. Let's put this in the fine line and in the writing in the history books. Or
this is what I'm secretly will happen.
Or if you are a fan of just sheer chaos, I kind of want him to retire.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the most hilarious thing to ever happen to the Jets.
Oh, man. That would
be
the best thing. He gets on the show, Pat McAfee show, and he's like, I'm officially announcing my retirement. Yo, the NFL would lose their mind.
That would be hilarious.
It would be the best thing to happen in free agency in my life.
And just the worst thing to ever happen to the Jets. That would easily set the Jets back another 5 years.
Easily.
Because they cannot run with Zach Wilson.
No.
At least not in his current form.
No.
Because apparently he's not coachable, they said.
And the other problem with this, if Rodgers does decide to just ruin the Jets' season, it also kind of ruins all of free agency because there's so many things in limbo because of this guy. Like, there are free agents out there that the Jets are actively trying to sign because Rodgers wants them.
Yeah.
So, like, he's dictating, because now the Packers also are kind of just like, are we going to have this contract on the books? Are we not? What are we going to have to do? So that he's holding up two complete teams, and also those teams' divisions, kind of. Like, the Bears think Rodgers is gone. So they're just loading up on these free agents.
Well, yeah, it's their time to strike.
It's their time to strike. But, and then, like, the Jets are kind of just sitting there waiting.
Well, it screws the Jets the most.
It screws the Jets the most. But, like,
because now they don't even have a quarterback option to fall back on. All the quarterbacks got signed.
Yeah, because
Derek Carr got signed.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to talk about him.
The first big domino to fall, he signed with the Saints because that's the only move the Saints can make now. They're filled to the brim with salary cap.
They're always cap strapped.
Yeah, so that's it. Hope if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, there you go. That's your moment in the sun.
That's your one free agency bit.
Good luck. That's it. Jimmy Garoppolo signed with the Raiders.
Yep.
Guys like Dalton, Jameis Winston, they all got picked up.
Hey, Wentz is still out there, I think, isn't he?
Oh, God.
Taylor Heineke got signed.
Yeah, Heineke got signed.
He got signed.
He got picked up.
Yeah. Like, all the backups are getting picked up now, too. So it's really slim pickings.
Yeah. The Jets are screwed if they don't land Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe the Jets will trade up in the draft.
They would have to. They'd have to do something. They would be in emergency mode if this doesn't pull through.
What a disaster.
I'm kind of hoping secretly he retires. That would be hilarious.
That would be really funny.
I would rather retire than play for the New York Jets. Sorry. That is my decision.
Oh, man. If I were the Jets, I'd be so pissed. If I were a Jets fan, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. It is just
crazy.
Is.
It really is. Rodgers is kind of ruining free agency for everyone. Whether it's like legitimate like football operations, or whether you're just a fan trying to enjoy free agency. It's like the only thing people are talking about but have nothing to say about, like us, because there's no announcement.
Not officially, no. But it looks like it's happening that he will be going to the Jets.
Well, enough of potential moves.
Yeah, let's talk about the Eagles so far.
Yeah, let's talk about the Eagles because the Eagles have been weirdly inactive, but a lot of moves have happened involving former Eagles players, and we all knew this was coming.
Yeah, and the Eagles are, I think, the worst in terms of dead cap.
Yeah, we have a lot of dead cap. We only have, I think,
they can't really make moves.
No, and you said that we only have 6 or 7 million under the cap.
Yeah.
So not a lot of wiggle room. We would like to save that money for signing some of our key players, but that also means we have to say goodbye to a lot of players as well. I'm just going to run down the list here because it's a lot of people. Former first-round pick offensive tackle Andre Dillard signs with the Tennessee Titans, 3 years, $29 million. Good for him. He gets a chance to start. He's starting caliber, so he should get an opportunity, right? This one, it kind of bums me out. Safety Marcus Epps signs with the Las Vegas Raiders. He was pretty solid for us in the defensive backfield. That's going to be a tough one. The real thing that upsets me, though, is the fact that both linebacker Kaiser White and linebacker TJ Edwards, both leaving the team. Kaiser White signs a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Arizona Cardinals. TJ Edwards, like we just mentioned, signs a 3-year, $19.5 million deal with his hometown team, the Chicago Bears. But the real heartbreaker of free agency is we're losing standout defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Gets his payday, though, 4 years, $80 million with the San Francisco 49ers. They are still so salty. They're now stealing our players.
Yeah, I thought that was a little interesting that the 49ers picked them up.
Yeah, like the Eagles are bums, but can we have some of those guys?
Yeah, right? They had all this criticism against us, but we'll still pick up one of your players.
But with all that money they gave to Hargrave, how will they afford to sign their 5th and 6th quarterbacks?
Yeah, and they still somehow picked up a quarterback.
I hate
they
the
got
49ers. The 49ers are like my new passion hate team.
So interesting. They're going to have Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy recovering from the injury, and then Trey Lance, who was supposed to be the franchise, but who knows? That's a weird
I'm sure
situation.
we'll see all three at some point this upcoming season. Maybe a fourth, maybe a fifth. Who knows how many quarterbacks we'll see. But just to recap all of these losses, and we're also not expected to re-sign running back Miles Sanders. So,
it's all right. We got Boston Scott.
We did get Boston Scott. But I saw this stat. 8 of our 9 top defensive players by snap count are gone, currently free agents, or are seeking a trade. So, I mean, most of our defense is going to be completely new. And on top of that, we also have, of course, a new defensive coordinator, new linebackers coach, new defensive quality coach. Like, what is this defense going to look like this upcoming season?
Yep, it's not going to look like last year. Nope.
It's going to be scary different, but hopefully good different.
Yeah, hopefully good scary.
Yeah, good scary. Because we also have some returning free agents. It's not all bad news. We are bringing back the heart and soul of the team. Defensive end Brandon Graham and center Jason Kelsey are both signing 1-year deals to stick around with the team. This has got to be both of their last.
Yeah, I think
hurrah,
so.
Right? I mean, Jason Kelsey has teased retirement like 4 years in a row now.
Yeah, and he's 36 now.
He's like 36. He's got 2 or 3 kids. He's got a podcast with his brother. Like, he can't possibly want much more than this.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham's in the same boat. I mean, he's been here his entire career. He raised a family here, won a Super Bowl with a Super Bowl hero, Brandon Graham. Like, this feels like a last hurrah, like victory lap for these two guys. And it's perfect. I can't think of, we go back to the Eagles teams that we grew up with. Like, it was like Brian Dawkins was like the heart and soul of the team. Like, I can't think of 2 guys more than Brandon Graham and Jason Kelsey that are the heart and soul of the past, like, decade of Eagles teams.
Yes. I mean, I think that soothes the pain a little bit of some of these free agent departures because you knew it was coming.
Yeah. I really don't want to ever see these guys in different uniforms. I think Brandon Graham turned down more money or bigger contracts elsewhere to continue playing here. They just want to play here. You love to see that.
Yep.
Love to see that. Side effect, though, of this deal, interesting, that Seumalo is still, I think, a free agent out there. He's expected to leave. So look for backup center Cam Jurgens to slide out to guard to play next to Kelsey this season. People are rumoring that he could get the starting nod at guard, which will be great for him to slide back to center, get a little bit of experience there starting.
Yeah, why
before
not?
He takes over for Kelsey.
Yeah, let's see what he can do.
Yeah, so that'll be a little exciting to see on the offensive line. Then flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, we're also re-signing all-pro cornerback James Bradbury, 3 years, $38 million, $20 million guaranteed. This is a pretty good move. I was very concerned that we would lose all of our defensive backfield, but we somehow managed to keep Bradbury.
I don't know if you keep him
and that's the other thing, Darius Slay.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Gardner Johnson?
Gardner Johnson's also going to be tough to maintain, too.
Yeah. So
I feel like at least one of them has to be a casualty.
Yeah. So let's jump ahead to, what we're going to do with some of these remaining free agents. We're trying really hard to retain some of this talent or get returns for it. So it's weird that Gardner Johnson hasn't signed with anybody yet because he was one of like the bigger safety free agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe that hopefully the Eagles are actively working to entice him to sign a deal, and that's why we haven't heard anything yet. Because we've seen lots of other players move, especially off the Eagles team. They've been great poaching grounds for other teams.
Yeah.
So it's weird that
they always seem to do better elsewhere too.
Right. So it's weird that Gardner Johnson hasn't signed anywhere yet. I know before free agency, the Eagles made it pretty well known that he was like their top target in free agency, was trying to retain him.
So there's hope for him.
So there's hope for him still. But Darius Slay wants an extension. He is older than all the other defensive backs.
32.
32. That's on the wrong side of 30 for the Eagles. And also, the fans are kind of divided on this. Some people think he lost a step. Some people are like, well, he was still locking down guys, and maybe James Bradbury is only as good as he is because he was only covering number 2s all year long. So, like, what do you think? The Bradbury versus Slay.
I would rather have Bradbury.
A little bit younger.
I know he had the holding penalty.
Yeah,
and everybody's remembering
and that's the big
that.
thing. Yeah,
but you gotta look at the calculus here.
right.
You do not want to be overpaying an oldie a cornerback that's aging.
Right.
I to a degree, I think some fans are right. He does seem to lose a little bit of a step.
This past season, he did seem to slow up a little bit.
Yeah. So I would rather have Bradbury and Gardner Johnson.
Here's the positive news. He's still under contract.
Yeah.
So he wants an extension. We gave him permission to seek a trade. He doesn't necessarily want to go somewhere else, but guess what? He may have to just play out this year, which is I mean, as long as he doesn't try to hold out or cause any issues off the field, this could really benefit the Eagles if we can keep both Bradbury and Slay for an additional year and somehow sign Gardner Johnson. All of a sudden, the defense, even though we lost all those players, it still maintains that core secondary. And I really want them, this is what I mentioned earlier, go cornerback in the draft at number 10 because we can get the top guy.
All right.
So
there you go. Some draft predictions there. And then one other thing, Eagles sign Rashad Penny to a 1-year deal. He was a pretty good running back for Seattle, but he kept getting banged up, so that's going to be the issue going forward.
The big talking point I saw is that he only played like 40-some games out of a potential 80, but every comment I've seen online, Eagles fans and Seahawks fans, they're like, he was one of the best when he was on the field.
Yeah.
Like, I think he had like 3 games of 130 yards back to back to back. Like, when he was able to play, he was one of the best. But, maybe he'll do better behind an offensive line that isn't a sieve.
And an offensive unit that is cycling out Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott.
Right. And also Jalen Hurts is going to take the ball himself a lot,
Yeah.
whether to pass or to run. So, Eagles, they have a history of finding these guys who were often injured or, either undervalued and really getting a lot of value out of them. So I'm hoping Penny can be that person.
Yeah, so there you go. It's not all doom and gloom.
Just a little bit of doom.
Yeah, there's a little bit of doom.
But not too much gloom.
Right. And there might be some sparkles of hope.
Yeah.
Look, the Eagles were still the NFC champions. Suck on that, everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Let's take that, Dallas. And there you go. We'll wrap up the Sports Sampler on that note.
Beautiful parting words.
Yeah. But don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree and the non-fortune cookie odd news coming your way. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 in the morning, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
that clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the hell?
I don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Bezos, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to, excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bell.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Ooh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Mike is checking one more time. Is there anything that happened?
Nothing.
We are recording on Tuesday night, so you never know if something's going to break or Aaron Rodgers goes into his darkness cave. And
no, we've already joked that the major news for the Eagles and the Packers and the Jets, it's all going to break on Thursday.
Yeah, or Wednesday, as the podcast is coming out. You know, that always happens, something like that. So you never know, unfortunately, here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast when news breaks, but we try to do our best.
We make do with what we got.
Yeah. We continue that from the world of sports, and we go right into our next batch of topics that revolve around movies, TV, and video games in the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, entertainment entree time, and we're gonna kick off. We're gonna do and kick off.
We're gonna do and kick off.
We're doing a lot of things at once here. We're doing and kicking off the entertainment entree with the segment where Mike is gonna let you know what to keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with new movies and new TV and new video games and stuff like that in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what you got for the people that you're going to do and kick off with?
Well, just like we are doing and kicking off, we're very action-packed. Movies will be very action-packed this upcoming week because Shazam! Fury of the Gods comes to theaters this week. It is the sequel to the under-the-radar DC comedy hit Shazam from 2019. The series follows a group of teens who possess the magic ability to transform into adult superhero alter egos. This time around, the teens must fend off against a trio of ancient gods seeking to recover this magic that was stolen from them long ago. The first movie was kind of a surprise hit. Got decent reviews, all 7.5 out of 10, which as far as superhero movies,
again, DC didn't have their hand in it.
Well, we will see with Shazam. They've been pretty hands-off because I think it's a little too quirky for DC's taste.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it does. I'm kind of excited for it. I really enjoyed the first Shazam. So I'm eager to see how this one does.
All right.
So keep an eye out for that in theaters. Meanwhile, in TV, Emmy Award-winning soccer dramedy Ted Lasso returns to Apple TV Plus this week for its third and final season. The show follows an American football coach who moves to England to coach a horrible soccer team. And, of course, he has to juggle coaching this lackluster soccer team with dealing with his own personal marital problems. But over the span of the 2 past seasons, he's made lots of friends, and he's brought a quirky, relentlessly upbeat attitude to this down-on-their-luck team and helped them become competitive again. I'm really eager to see where Season 3 goes, as, you know, he's made a few enemies as well.
Is this why you're wearing a London t-shirt?
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh,
but
that was a good timing.
I didn't even think of that. I forget what I'm wearing sometimes. You ever do that where you look down and you're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought you were maybe wearing it in honor of that.
Nope.
Okay, very well.
Not at all. But, you know,
Never
I can
mind.
pretend like, yes, absolutely. Go England.
They're in the World Baseball Classic.
They're doing English stuff over there.
They're doing sports.
They're doing sports. They're doing and kicking off.
And kicking off.
In soccer, in Ted Lasso, this week, Apple TV Plus. Go check it out. That's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
There you go. You know what? Add that to my campaign slogans. We're going to do and kick off.
Do and kick off.
do and kick off 2024.
Rich Liebig 2024.
There you go. We have that. We have spread your biscuits.
Spread your biscuits. You just get up there at the party and be like, spread your biscuits, do and kick off.
Woo! Yeah!
Bravo.
That's it. That's all I need to say.
Beautiful. You bring together the American people.
That's my campaign. There you go.
Anyway,
right.
You know what else is bringing together people? The Oscars, of course, a celebration of all things film, the best films of the year. We talked about it last week. We gave our reviews on some of the movies, and we have the results here now, of course, of all the big winners, losers, upsets, etc. I think we just got to start off at the very top of the list. Everything Everywhere All at Once captured almost all of the Oscars all at once. 7 wins out of 11 nominations. Not quite a sweep, but for all intents and purposes.
For the modern era, that's practically a sweep.
Yeah, so I think it was, let me see if I can find the actual stat here. It was like the most winning film since, where is it? Now, of course, I can't find it, but it's won a lot of awards. It was the first film since 2013's Gravity to win 7 Academy Awards, and the most awarded Best Picture winner since 2008's Slumdog Millionaire. It's also only the 3rd film in history to win 3 acting categories in 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
The other 2 are A Streetcar Named Desire from 1951 and Network from 1976.
Network,
so,
yeah. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
But I mean, that's almost a 50-year gap.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs.
He's done.
I just love that.
He's off. No, it is a great scene. I've only seen the scene, not the actual movie.
It's just everything is great in that movie. Everyone is just cranked up to 11.
But how about this though?
Network, check it out.
Definitely, yeah. I may have to. I love that scene, so I have to actually watch the movie. But
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs right now.
But you know what? The one thing that movie didn't do is that Everything, Everywhere, All at Once did do is that neither of those other films won both Best Picture and Best Director. So historically, this is, if you're looking in terms of major awards, one of the most winningest films of all time.
Yeah. I mean, there's always like a category called the Big Five, you know, that has like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, that you win Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, Best
Director,
Screenplay, Best Director.
Screenplay, yeah.
Technically, this doesn't fit it because
if they had an actor, a lead actor, you have
you
think
have a supporting actor,
both supporting actors,
like and
the actress.
I forget his name now. Short Round. I always think of him as Short Round.
Yeah. No, I know.
He won.
So Ke Huy Quan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that should count as one of these movies that it won the Big Five.
I think getting both supporting awards should count as getting one
major.
No, I mean really, right? They won 3 out of 4 acting awards.
Yeah, and that's
like that
unheard of.
That counts.
Yeah. So
for all intents and purposes,
it is, at the very minimum, it is a Hallmark movie of this decade.
Absolutely.
I love the movie. I think it deserves all the praise.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see this movie succeed.
Yeah, we talked last week at length about how good it was, how much we enjoyed it, and I think that the wins kind of, serve as a great example of just that very fact, how really, truly dominant it was, how unique and fun, and just narratively very, very compelling. Now, what's interesting is I'm seeing a fun backlash here online where people are like, oh, it wasn't that good. I hate when
hipsters.
I hate when that happens, when something achieves, like, because especially on places like Reddit, like earlier in the year, everyone's like, oh my God, this movie's so unique. It's so quirky. I love it so much. And then after it reaches that like status, they're all like, oh, well, it wasn't as good as this weird indie Spanish art house flick. I'm like, shut up.
Well, I guess I guess I should take notice of this because I did call out. I didn't get the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
And it got blanked. Did not win a single one.
It did. It was.
I think I'm justified a little bit.
Yeah. So there were a few upsets, and actually there were a lot of upsets. A lot of highly nominated movies were completely shut out. Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, and The Fabelmans. You had 9, 8, 7 nominations. What is that? Like almost 25 nominations between the three of them. 0 wins.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised Elvis didn't get something. I thought Elvis would have got something.
I'm surprised The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
Got nothing. Steven Spielberg?
Are they? Yeah. Or is the Academy tired of Spielberg?
I don't know if they're tired of Spielberg. Maybe they're just not so self-gratifying anymore.
I don't know.
Because that movie, I said it last week, that it felt like it was made for the Academy to ego stroke. It's about movies. It's semi-autobiographical of one of the best directors ever of all time.
Yeah, but
it's a period piece. I mean, like I can see them drooling over movies like that in the past.
Maybe if this came out like 10 or 15 years ago when they weren't
it would have
skeptical.
Swept.
Yeah, but now they're kind of, there is
New World Order.
There is introspective look at, yourself. Do you really want to stroke your own ego? Yeah.
Not as much.
Yeah.
A little bit, but not too much.
We'll give you nominations, but we won't give you the award.
Shake it 3 times. You're playing with yourself.
There you go. That's the golden rule.
That's the golden rule. But yeah, back to everything.
Yeah,
just amazing.
I do want to, though, in that best actor category, it was cool to see Brendan Fraser win for The Whale.
Yeah, it was really nice to see him after decades being away.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but they were saying like there's kind of a like a celebrity list of just like they can't do anything wrong.
Right.
And it's like this year it's Pedro Pascal and Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If those guys are attached to anything, people are just flocking to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, really nice to see him win one. Very, very wholesome. I saw an interview with him and his kids, and they all just seemed like great people. One of only 3 movies to win multiple awards. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once with 7 wins. All Quiet on the Western Front picked up 4 wins out of its 9 nominations, and The Whale picked up 2 wins out of its 3 nominations. That's it. Those are the only multiple winners.
There you go.
So, I mean, that's what happens when you have one film win 7 awards. I just want to say though, we called it with Everything Everywhere All at Once and All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah,
we're pretty good. I mentioned those as my top 2 films this past year, and there you go.
Yep. And
so the Academy shouldn't stroke their ego, but I can stroke mine.
All right. What an ending sentence for Mike. Very good.
No, ignore me because I got everything else wrong.
But no, Everything Everywhere All at Once deserves the awards. That was. I remember watching that movie coming out of it, and I was just like, "Wow, that was like the first like original movie that like I've seen in a while." That was like I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
I was like, "That was amazing."
It was zany. It was heartfelt. It was creative. It was just everything. I saw a little bit of commentary where people are saying that it was too on the nose. The ending was a little too exposition heavy. I disagree. I felt it wrapped it all up very nicely. Maybe it was too clean of an ending for some cynical moviegoers. I feel like moviegoers just get more cynical as time goes on. You know?
Probably. But nevertheless, very good to see that movie win most of those awards. All right. Now, with that, I got to admit, though, I kind of just followed the Oscars on Twitter. Because unfortunately there was something much more pressing that was airing on Sunday night. And I think most people would agree. And that was The Last of Us season finale. So it is officially done. The first season of The Last of Us, the video game adaptation, it's all done. It's in the books. 9 episodes. The first game is done, made into a real-life TV show. I guess we'll have some minor spoilers, so I will play the spoiler warning.
It's a spoiler! Ooh, it's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
So there you go. That's your warning. But let's officially dive into it. I'm not going to mince words here. This was the greatest video game adaptation, period. I think they did a fantastic job. Just everything worked, I think, for the most part with this show. They did the right amount of calibrating for what you needed to transform this story and this world into a TV show. HBO should be happy because they've got another mega hit on their hands.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to greenlit a second season already, so they're going to obviously go into The Last of Us Part 2. And I think just all parties couldn't be happier, whether you're viewing the work or you're actually involved in it or you've got stock in HBO. I don't know. I feel like it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I was really just impressed and so happy to see the reception of it because for the longest time, I've been a big champion of like not only The Last of Us, but video games as a narrative vehicle.
Yep.
And like I remember watching the very first episode of the season and just seeing the music and seeing the title sequence and like just being kind of like a weird I can't believe this is happening, right, in such a big way, and it's so positive. And now I was so nervous heading into the finale because I wanted to know, would they stick the landing, right? How would people take it? And from what I gather, it's pretty much positives across the board.
Yeah.
And it really, there's that little bit of doubt in the back of your mind sometimes, like, is it really a good story or is it just a good video game story? Because you hear people say that, right? Like, oh, books are better, TV's better, movies are better. But I think this stands up against the best of them.
Yeah.
And I think that the reviews and the ratings reflect that. And I can't wait to see what happens during awards season because Succession Season 4 and Last of Us Season 1, it's going to be a fight to the bitter end between the two of them. Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen Succession
No,
Season 4
we haven't seen
yet,
Succession Season
so
4,
we'll
but
see.
like HBO's got a loaded slate
Yeah.
in 2023. I mean, kicking it off with The Last of Us. But just
and then Barry.
And then
don't forget about Barry afterwards.
as well. Yeah, I mean,
all my shows are ending.
Yeah.
Help.
But man, I could not be happier with The Last of Us. The season in general, I thought, did an amazing job of not only summing up the game, but also, and this is the thing that I love about a good adaptation, and where I think a lot of video game adaptations have failed before, is they miss kind of the heart and soul of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get a video game adaptation and they're like, oh, well, gamers like want the action or they want like the catchphrases. Like, yeah, to a certain degree. They want the costumes or like all that stuff is important, but if it's missing the heart and soul of it, if it's missing the vibe of it, right?
Like Super Mario Brothers.
Oh God.
Why are they running around with it was like some sort of weird plasma shotgun and
I have no idea.
Bowser was just Dennis Hopper in a weird slick back hairdo.
Yeah, like missing
what?
missing the point of it, But The Last of Us, they really nailed it. And I know that they nailed it from hearing people who didn't play the game talk about it. Like my dad at dinner, he's like, I asked him, I'm like, because everybody else that I associate with, for the most part, has like played the game or knows of the game, but not my dad. Mm-hmm. He's never seen or heard or engaged with it at all. And he goes, yeah, I was really liking it. I thought Joel was a good guy, but I feel really conflicted in that last episode. I feel like he wasn't that good. And I'm like,
welcome to the world.
I'm like, that's beautiful to hear because that is literally the entire point of the game. And when you have a non-game player reach that conclusion, like, you effing did it.
Yeah.
Like you hit the mark.
Yep.
For people to get there on their own without having played the game, and like when he said that, I was like, I know now that The Last of Us did everything that it needed to do and more.
And also, he stayed awake for it.
And he stayed awake for it, which is like that's automatically an 11 out of 10.
Yeah, that's like 2/3 of the battle.
Right, exactly. But you know, I lauded a lot of praise on the series, but I did have a few critiques as well. I want to get your perspective of this because this is something else that one of my cousins brought up to me. He said, "I want to see more infected." And the infected kind of, and I'm of two minds. And this is what I told him. I said, well, you know, the story's not really about the infected.
Yeah. So it's funny you mentioned this because when this was first getting the steam and I was getting excited about this, for me, it was Rachel. Rachel had no idea what this was. She never played the game.
Right.
So like I was trying to sell her that
it's not a zombie story.
It's not a true zombie story.
No.
Like, even though there are, you know, this fungus and everything, and, you know, there are these zombie-like enemies and stuff like that, they're more of just kind of the happenstance background necessity to create the world.
Right.
It's not like there's a king... There's not like a king zombie you have to take down.
King zombie.
Yeah. Like it's just more of that just happens to be part of the world that the characters are living in. It's more of a human drama.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think that helped Rachel to give it a shot.
It sold her on it.
And then when she watched the first couple of episodes, she got the point.
Yeah.
And it worked out like that. I think that actually works out better for a more mature story like this.
Yeah. It's a common trope in zombie shows and movies where obviously you have humans coming back from the dead. I know they're not coming back from the dead in The Last of Us, but you have them, for lack of a better term, coming back from the dead because they are a mirror of us, right? So we're not fighting ghosts or demons. They are us, reanimated, the inverse of us, us devoid of what makes us human. And that's kind of the point. Like it's the worst parts of us, but then the real villain of any zombie story is the other humans, right? Those are the main themes that you're dealing with. Should be. Those are the main themes you're dealing with, is like seeing a mirror of us, but then also the real villain is ourselves. That was the whole point behind The Walking Dead originally, is that we are the Walking Dead.
When we first started the show, yeah.
Right. And so I like the fact that The Last of Us maintained its focus on the fact that the worst bad guys are the humans. It's the lady in the QZ. It's David. It's, you know, the Fireflies. It's Joel. It's the humans.
It's what you have to do to survive.
Right, exactly. That's the hardest part of these stories. That said, I do still think that there needed to be just a little bit more presence of the infected in the later half of the season to really sell the dire circumstances of needing that cure, right? Because it makes Joel's actions and Ellie's actions in the end more, reverberate more if you have that continued tension applied from the infected.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I needed like a little bit more, whether it's like audio cues of like even just like the sound of
the
clickers
yeah.
or like something else. I feel like they kind of, and again, I'm of two minds because
there wasn't a clicker
after the clicker introduction, or no, it was the town with the sniper.
Yeah, when you get past that point in the series, yeah, there's kind of no clicker action.
There's no clicker, there's no bloater, there's no, don't misunderstand me, guys. I'm not talking about like I need shootouts like in the game. I just need the presence or the threat of them.
Yeah, it kind of just gets forgotten after that point.
Yeah, so I think that was the one big stumbling block. But other than that, I feel like they nailed pretty much everything.
Yep. My only critique is just the ending was kind of startling for a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, I think it makes sense for the video game because, like, you're used to, like, jump scares and things just, like, ending and... Or you're used to like pausing the game or like coming back to something. So like
sudden starts and stops are kind of like part of the flow.
Yeah, in the video game. So it's fine there. But on the TV show, when it just when Ellie just says okay and just cuts to black and went to credits, it was like, oh shit, that's it. Like yep, there you go.
I feel like you can easily.
It would have been just a little bit nicer if I don't know, just me being nitpicky. Just I don't know if they had just some sort of.
It is a little bit of like a technical aspect of the medium nitpickiness, but like at the same time, you're right. Like if they just lingered on her, like she says okay, and they just linger on her for like 2 seconds. Like all they needed was
you needed to have like the fade, some sort of way to fade out into the ending.
Well, would have been
it didn't. Sorry,
oh,
I'm gonna fade out into your microphone.
Punching my mic.
Like you need to have just kind of some sort of like let down, for lack of a better word, let down into the ending, as opposed to just boom, it just ended credits.
What really would have been impactful is you see this recurring theme, this image motif of the two of them standing together, right?
Something like that would have been
so
nice,
like she says okay, you have a beat like mid angle shot of like the two of them standing.
Yeah, something like that.
Against like a stark like sky background. Like that would have like tied it together very nicely to see them so starkly.
For lack of a better word, you needed a bow. There needed to be a bow as opposed to the jump cut to the credits.
Yeah, because
that's just me being nitpicky.
No, I mean, I can definitely see. So for me, I didn't mind it because I was expecting it.
Yeah.
But for people like my dad and like Rachel who never played the game, they're like my dad was like, that's how it ends,
right?
And,
it's like that's it.
And all of us video game players were like, that was really good, and the TV watchers are like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
I'm sitting there goofy faced, I'm like tearing up, but also like smiling, and everybody else is like, why did it just cut to black?
Yeah,
it was very Sopranos-esque.
But I gotta say though, they didn't pull any punches on the things that mattered. I really gotta give them props. I thought they might scale back a little bit on the David plot. I thought they might be a little hesitant with the hospital.
They went worse with the David plot.
Yeah, they went full blown.
And the hospital, can I just say, I saw one article nitpicking how Joel was like a killing machine in the hospital. They're like, oh, it was too video game like. No, that was like
he's supposed to be in like a rampage mode.
He is in a tunnel vision.
Like I need to save my daughter because Ellie at that point has officially become his daughter.
The way that I read that scene, I'm getting chills now just thinking about like there is something so machine-like about him.
Yeah,
and it's so chilling.
Did you catch the inside the episode afterwards? Where Neil Druckmann says it's the easiest decision he's ever made.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. Like, there's no second option on this.
And when something is that easy and when you're that determined, that's how I imagine a person who is completely just absorbed and driven by something would look.
Yeah,
there was just nothing except for rage and determination.
Right,
and
you're not considering that this is a loss of life or I need to get to Ellie. I need to get to my daughter.
And it really hammered home the fact, and they mention it, and it's this way in the game too, where you start to realize where Joel, like my dad said, maybe not a good guy. Like he's just like popping heads left and right, and you're reminded like, oh, he's done this a lot. Over 20 years.
Right.
So it's
He's
not
a smuggler.
It's not unbelievable. He's been doing this for decades, guys.
Yeah. So again, to try and add gray area to your morality. So
and also the ending still, as the kids say, slaps. Isn't that what the kids say? I don't know. It's,
all right, you sound old right now.
I'm so old. So my hands are cold. My hair is thinning.
To be fair, it is really cold today in Philadelphia.
It is really cold today.
And windy.
Cold, yeah.
And windy. This would not be a day to be in the apocalypse.
No.
This would be a horrible day in the apocalypse.
No, sir.
But no, there you go. Our quick review of season 1 of The Last of Us.
Go watch it.
I mean... We spoiled some things for you.
No, still go watch it.
Oh, yeah, still watch it. But if you didn't watch it, sorry, we spoiled some things for you. All right. With that in mind, we're done sports. We're done entertainment. That leaves one major topic left to talk about.
Oh, no.
And that is the non-fortune cookie on news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda de bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo, odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to and why? Why, Rich? That is always the question. Why?
Well, yeah, you already know the answer to the first question.
Yeah.
We're going to Florida.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yep.
But it's the why that I got to know now.
That's what matters.
That's what matters.
Yes. I don't know why you did the Italian.
I don't know
hand thing.
why.
What's happening?
Why? That's why.
What's happening? Okay, so in this story, we're going to talk about a interesting little threesome that happened in Florida.
Why don't you try a poem like this? You're an angel, my love. Of this I am certain. So this Valentine's Day, let's do some bumping and squirting.
Oh, yeah. We got some.
That's so gross.
We got some
Let's
action.
do some bumping and squirting.
Yeah, some bumping and squirting happening. Yeah.
Okay, so you said it's a threesome, a three-way.
Yes.
What's going on here?
So first off, it was a couple, 31-year-old Stephen Lopez and 20-year-old Angela Vasquez.
Whoa, that's an age gap right there.
Yep. They say that they are in an open relationship.
That doesn't lead to any problems.
And they invited 29-year-old Della Draper over to join in some three-way action here.
Oh, it's a lady.
Is Della a lady?
Yes,
okay.
she is.
I just need to make sure because I wasn't sure.
Yes,
Della.
Della Draper. Yep.
Della Draper. Okay.
So we got the three-way happening here.
Oh, it's a lady.
Yep.
All right, so they're bumping and squirting away, all three of them.
Yep.
How could this possibly go wrong?
So, first, Lopez apparently met Della Draper while he was driving for Marathon Taxi, and they hit it off and gave her Facebook information.
What year is this? Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah. Look. We're broadcasting on Facebook, but
whoops, that's right. I mean, yes, go Facebook, the best and certainly newest social network out there.
But maybe not in terms of if you're trying to getting a hookup.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird, right?
Yeah, that may not be the one to go to.
I don't know. There's so many other apps out there. You're gonna go to Facebook Messenger?
Yeah. Okay, so she took him up on the offer.
Of course. I mean, he wooed her. He wooed her with Facebook
and taxi driving.
I mean, that's a magic combination right there.
Wow.
Get yourself a man who Facebooks and taxis.
And drives a nice.
There you go, nice taxi.
I also just love the fact that we're in 2023, and this is.
So wait, this is 2023. He's using Facebook primarily. And also driving a taxi, but not an Uber?
No, this is a Marathon Taxi. This is an actual taxi service.
Like literally, is he stuck in like 2015 or something? What is happening? I guess even earlier than that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know. So interesting. Not
taxis and Facebook. This man sounds like he's 50.
Not Uber and TikTok. This is Facebook and taxis.
Yeah.
That sounds like a weird band name or album name. Facebook and Taxis.
Facebook and Taxis.
I don't know. Anyway, So Draper did come over, so she was interested at first.
Okay. Did he pick her up in the taxi?
I mean, that would be the
so
proper
wait, is that
thing.
so? I actually don't know. Are they their personal vehicles? No, they go back to the depot, right?
They go back to a depot, yeah.
And then they have their own vehicle, so they can't use the taxis after hours.
No, Uber would still use the same vehicle.
See, again, another reason why you should do Uber, not taxi.
Yeah. Okay, so this is happening. Draper shows up.
Okay.
While the trio was
bumping and squirting.
was bumping and squirting, while they're having their fun. Apparently, at some point, Draper became, quote, disrespectful.
Okay. What happened that was disrespectful?
So she claims they were being, or they claim Draper was being disrespectful.
Okay.
Draper claims that Lopez and Vasquez, quote, tried to dominate her.
Oh, doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
that can get a little iffy, I guess.
Right. So I guess she didn't want to go that far.
Right, she didn't want to go that route. Okay.
At that point, a physical confrontation ensued.
Oh boy.
In which hair was pulled, punches were thrown, and they ended up outside somehow.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
They're just like all like tangled together and like cartwheel out of the.
Right? How does that always happen with these stories?
It's like I'm always surprised.
Stay inside.
I'm always surprised because I'm like, real life is not like movies and TV shows, but this is absolutely like the scene from a movie where like the door bursts open, like all three bodies are like tumbling down the stairs.
They're
bumping and squirting and
grinding and
all sorts
around
of things,
and just
they're like one giant human tumbleweed that like comes out of the door.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just rolls out. There you go. Just rolls on out.
Oh God.
Oh,
No!
Buckeye Chuck here.
It's the Bell and Buckeye Chuck.
Hello, it's Buckeye Chuck.
Where did you go? You've been gone for so long.
There's been a lot of things happening since COVID. I've been transformed back into a bell.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that
Buckeye Chuck.
that you returned to your bell form.
This is Buckeye Chuck. I'm another part of my duties here on this planet is I issue the wind.
You issue the wind? That's amazing, Buckeye.
Yes, and
wow. So
I corral all these people to go outside and give you odd news stories.
So you use the wind to push the odd news in certain directions.
Yes, I'm
That's
Buckeye
amazing.
Chuck. That is my job here on this planet. I propel people out of the house for the odd news.
Wow.
And you know that's me when the bell's ringing.
When you hear the bell tolling, you know Buckeye Chuck isn't far behind.
Buckeye Chuck is around. Yep, that's me. All you gotta do is hear that gong. That means me. There you go.
It is.
That's me. You can now pray to me. Thank you.
Oh, okay. He's a deity now as well. Wow.
Yes.
He's doing so much. Doing the Lord's work.
Thank you, Buckeye Chuck.
Thank you, Buckeye Chuck.
It's always he's had a very interesting life.
He's had a very. I don't think we ever found out in almost 10 years what exactly Buckeye Chuck is. Yeah. He's now the wind.
He's now the wind, just the wind in general.
Just the wind, like a wind god or something.
Yes, he's a wind god.
Because people are praying to him, and he pushes people to odd news.
Right, that's his job. That's Buckeye Chuck
Amazing.
In 2023, the year of our Lord.
The year of Buckeye Chuck.
Yes, that's what he does now.
So he pushed these three people entwining out into the yard.
Yes.
I assume it's like a dirt yard because it's Florida.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. And just, that's it. They're just flying.
I just have an image of like a trailer park. Is that wrong? Is that bad?
No, but I just can't believe they ended up outside. Like, you guys are like half naked. You're
bumping uglies.
Yeah.
You don't take that outside. Keep that inside.
Yeah, come on.
So somebody tried to I guess somebody tried to escape, for lack of a better term. The other two followed. How does this happen?
Yes. So as the punches were being thrown, that's when Draper shouted out that Steven had a little dick.
Oh no!
And
the worst insult.
Yes, and that Vasquez, quote, was stanky.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh. She got some stank.
I love how they're just like physically assaulting each other, and she's like, "You got a tiny dick,
and you got stank,
and you got stank." That's harsh, man.
Yep.
That's harsh.
So she ran to her car, started to
escape the stank.
Right. Started to get the car going. She had a Nissan Altima.
Weirdly specific, but okay.
I mean, it's in the police report.
Okay.
So, that's why. So then she got in the car and backed up. According to Vasquez and Lopez, they claim that she was trying to run them over in the backing up.
In reverse? I feel like that's not an efficient way to run people over.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying in the police report.
Okay.
Because that's when Lopez said he acted in self-defense and threw a cinder block through the rear window of the Altima.
I guess she...
Just picking up a cinder block and throwing it.
A whole ass cinder block. I'm always amazed at how there's just cinder blocks lying around in these odd news stories.
I mean, look.
I feel like no, the other guy was a Bible. People are just always throwing random things. They have. I'm thinking of the naked.
Yeah,
guy.
You're thinking of naked Florida man.
Yeah, from the splash page or whatever.
Yeah,
let's see if we can get the image up here.
Yeah,
for
the official
video viewers. Sorry, I just threw a curveball.
That's
there.
the official Florida man.
The official Florida man. He's like naked, throwing a Bible.
I mean, this is very close to what we're talking about here, except that
I imagine that's what the guy looks like.
Instead of a Bible, he's got a cinder block.
Yeah, just everybody in your mind's eye, just picture a man naked holding a cinder block over his head. Like, that's pretty much it. But
yeah, so he said he acted in defense. So I don't know.
I feel like that's not. I don't know. I feel like I disagree.
Yeah, I feel like if you were really trying to run over somebody, that's not a very efficient way to do so.
Right, backing up is not an efficient way to run over someone.
I mean, maybe you got the rear view camera, and that's how you're seeing.
But like, I feel like it's a little unwieldy trying to like back up and hit them. You know what I mean? And you can't pick up enough speed to do any damage. You want to really come at them with the front of the car. You know, that's where you're going to get the most damage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's not advice.
Yeah,
that's just my analysis.
Yeah, please don't actually take this as advice.
But also, I feel like a cinder block isn't a great defense either because your objective is to not get run over. But to throw a cinder block, like they're pretty heavy, you have to be stationary. Like you can't dodge the vehicle and throw at the same time. You know, I feel like he's not that athletic. You know?
Well, he must. I guess maybe he is because Lopez did not get hit by the car, but Vasquez did get hit by the car.
So they actually did get hit.
So there was contact. Vasquez got hit.
But like, I feel like it'd be pretty easy to get away from a reversing car.
I don't know.
I mean, I've never tried.
There's a lot of things happening here. They're half naked. They were in a fight. The girl's running to her car.
That's true.
She got told she was stanky. There's a lot of things happening here.
Oh man.
So I guess at that point, cops showed up and was able to get everyone's report. So this is how they have the detailed report. So I guess the cops showed up right then and there.
The car lady was still there?
I guess, yeah, she did not drive away.
Weird.
So
if I just hit somebody and had a cinder block thrown through my window, I'd be like, oh man, this is dangerous. I'm gonna leave.
Well,
maybe
or I don't know. The cops pulled up. They're there.
They were there.
Now the cops arrived. So that's how they got everyone's statement on this.
Okay.
And then even as they were taking everyone's statements, Draper exited her car and actually tried to swing another fist at Vasquez, but missed. So,
jeez, she's determined.
Yeah, she was not happy how this went down.
No, I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style.
Yeah, she is. She's still angry. Well, I mean, she also just had her rear window blown to bits by the cinder block.
I mean, yeah. I mean, first they try to do some sexy stuff that she was not okay with, and then they threw a cinder block through a window. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that she'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
And then they accuse her of trying to run them over.
Yep.
Like, I mean, maybe not, but
Well, I guess the cops believed more Draper, I guess, in this story, because the finale is that Draper was not charged in connection with this.
Okay.
But Vasquez was hit with a misdemeanor battery, and Lopez was charged for a felony assault for throwing the cinder block.
Jeez.
So, yeah, this is this was not a good night for everybody.
Yeah, right? Just let her drive off. Don't throw the cinder block. You know what I mean? Like, it's already bad enough. You guys are punching and kicking and screaming and name calling and, you know.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
I was just like, it's not worth it, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
This is a whole ball of crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody in this story is
from
crazy.
Start to finish. This is why, like, threesomes sound sexy, but, like, I feel like they only cause problems.
Yeah, well,
right?
Something like this happening, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Uh-oh.
Usually that would be like where a story would end, and I think we would start wrapping up the show and everything like that.
Is there a second part to this story?
Not a finger!
That's right. Don't wave your finger yet.
Okay.
Because, man, just, you think that would be enough. That would be filling.
Are we getting Odd News Part 2?
Well, this is where it's almost like Odd Newsception, because now we're going to examine another thing. First, some aftershocks and after effects of this.
Okay.
Because it turns out Vasquez, while in custody, admitted that she was on probation already and was wanted by the state of Connecticut.
For what? Wanted by the state of Connecticut? She made her all the way down to Florida? That's pretty good. Wow. Hey, man. That's pretty good.
And this is how she gets busted.
Wow, that really sucks. So what was she wanted in Connecticut for?
Does
they go into that?
I don't think it says here in this report because we have something else to cover.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. So that's where her story ends. She's going to have to go back to Connecticut and deal with whatever she's wanted for there.
This is like a multi-layered story. This is almost as narratively deep as The Last of Us.
Yeah, right? There's a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers.
That's happening all of a sudden. Okay, so there you go. That's that. Then there is something to follow up on with Draper, because so Draper got away with this.
Right.
She is
right. The
not
cops
charged.
believed her. Everybody else was getting charged, and she's like, "Cool, I just got to replace a window." Like that's the best case scenario. Just leave. Don't commit any crime.
Yep. So everything should be fine, right?
Right.
What's the definition of insanity?
Oh no. Oh no. Did she get into another threesome?
So Draper,
oh my God,
decided the following Wednesday, maybe it was just a one-time thing. Maybe it was just one bad draw. She decides to chat it up with another couple and go in for another threesome.
I'm starting to think the common denominator may be Draper. Oh. What a plot twist. It was Draper all along.
It was Draper all along. Yeah. We need to change the song here.
Oh, my God. So she tries another threesome
yes.
with another couple. Was the man also a taxi driver?
No.
Oh, man. That would have been too perfect.
This is where it gets a little weird.
I was an Uber driver.
She's working her way up.
So this person is Uber and Twitter. Really working her way up the ladder.
And then after that, it's Lyft and TikTok.
Right. Eventually, she'll work her way all the way up to limousine and I don't know.
Instagram.
And Instagram, yeah. The creme de la creme of the driver social media combo.
Not quite, no. The male is the father of Draper's 2 children and a girl that he was seeing.
Oh, that's not a good idea. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
First off, it's usually never good to hook up with your ex, but
especially not when there's children involved and another partner
like
and
their partner. That's a lot.
Oh man. So was the ex's new partner on board with this?
Yes.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Because you know what? In her head, she's going, I'm going to show you that you made the right choice.
I don't know why anybody would accept this.
This is dumb. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad and dumb. This is doing and kicking.
Doing and kickoff.
Doing and kickoff.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this obviously worked out really well for all parties.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
because
man. Shocker.
During the night, at some point, an argument ensued.
Of course.
And Draper decided to strike him in the face with a glass vase.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's
ouch.
No, I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style.
That's offsetting penalties. So, she got the cinder block, but then she delivered the vase. That's offsetting penalties.
Replay second down.
Replay second down. She's got to go back to the first couple. No, it's actually now a 5-way.
Everyone gets released from jail.
These cops are working overtime.
Replay
man.
second down.
Replay second down. She just had to go. She had a good thing going. She had 2 threesomes in 1 week. She got away with a crime. Just walk away.
No.
Just walk away.
No, she struck the
Oh man.
Struck the father of her children with the glass vase.
Not smart.
And yeah, unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to hide from that one.
Nope.
Because it caused lacerations, swelling, and redness to his face and his upper lip.
Oh God, yeah.
So with that, now Draper was finally arrested.
What a long journey.
Yes, she got charged with felony aggravated battery.
She's sharing a jail cell with the other one.
Yeah, I mean, she's waiting for transport
and
to go to Connecticut.
And then those two get together, and they have a prison 3-way with another prisoner.
Yeah, there you go. Let's really turn this into like a a porn story.
Then it's like a 6-way.
This is like a weird Florida porno where but they have to have a plot.
They're like, I know. We'll do like Law and Order and sex.
We're gonna do a Florida odd news porno.
Oh God.
And this is how we're going to connect all the threads
They end
together.
up in prison, and they're like, oh,
they all end up in prison.
Right. No, the 2 men show up for conjugal visits, and they have like some weird like prison 4, 5, 6-way.
Take your damn clothes off.
Yep, there you go. Just full blown.
Man, she had everything going for her. She had 2 threesomes in 1 week. She got away with some initial crime.
I just don't know why you would repeat the process.
No,
that is and with
like how much time? But how much time passed? Like not a lot, right?
No,
you said later that week, right?
It was so the first incident was. Wait, I had the dates here. I definitely saw a date. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
The first one. So the first threesome was March 6th. She got off scot-free.
Right.
She was let go. She was fine. Then the following Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's like a week apart.
Yes.
She's like,
I'm going to try it again.
You got to at least let like 2 weeks pass. Not like, give it a little bit of space. Also, how are so many arguments happening in the middle of this? Like you're, I assume, trying to focus on other things. And you're like,
I hope so.
Like, I don't know. It's like, leave all the other stuff, outside of that activity, I don't know.
All right, one last thing. I think maybe this is all conspiracy. Maybe she thought she could get away with attacking the ex-husband.
Oh.
Because she already got away with the 1 threesome.
Right. But why would she think like, oh, my immunity carries over to the next threesome?
I don't know.
I got away with 1. That was my chance.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Oh,
the best time to commit a crime is after you just got off of a previous crime.
That's like how people escape from prison. They hang around the prison. It's the last place they take a look.
Yeah.
They're smart criminals in Florida. They're crafty down there.
Yeah. Or she's just severely horny and dumb.
Yes. Maybe the cinder block hit her in the head a little bit, and she's just not thinking straight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So.
That's wild times. That was like 3 odd news stories rolled into one.
I know. It felt like an odd news Inception or something.
That was like a multi-layered, like multi-character arc. Like, I feel like I should give that story like an Emmy or something. That was amazing.
Or an adult video award or something.
Adult video. I mean, we'll settle for whatever awards we can get here.
Because that's a really bad plot of how you have multiple sex scenes in a porno
That's
tape.
like that's like bad 80s porn.
Yeah.
Like everybody's got a mustache.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
Brilliant.
That was all legit. I don't know why you would think trying it a second time would be helpful.
I just feel like, in general, not a good idea.
Yeah.
And then a second time, a much worse idea. And then with an X, like,
yeah,
you are pushing it, lady.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the story that I have for you in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
Breathtakingly stupid. I loved it.
Yes. Yes. The definition of insanity, right?
Yeah. Literally, like 5 days later, she's like, Let's again.
Try it again.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yes.
If you fall off the horse,
yes,
get back on.
Well, as long as you always come back to the Crispy Noodle podcast, everything will be right with the world. So
beautiful.
Thank you guys for supporting our little show through thick and thin and whatever craziness evolves in this show. If you like what you heard, make sure you follow us. First off, on our website, thecrispynoodle.com, on social media, where we have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram profiles that we now have to link. We may have to link with our driving careers.
Yeah, right? You got to put our like Uber things out on taxis.
Facebook and taxi is the bottom.
Right. Then it's Twitter and
Uber.
Lyft or Uber. Twitter, I don't know which one's better. I don't know.
Twitter and Lyft, Instagram and Uber.
There you go. Perfect.
We'll work out the system.
Yeah.
So follow us on all those platforms if you can. But more importantly, make sure you have some way to get our podcast sent to you every Wednesday, whether that is on YouTube, where you just go to our YouTube page and you hit the subscribe button, whether it's on Facebook, where we are on Facebook Watch, so you can watch us directly on Facebook. Stop making fun of Facebook, Mike.
No, Facebook's good. It's good. It's good. It's the taxi of social networks. It gets you there.
Right. It will get you there.
It's not fancy. It smells a little weird. It's a little old, but it gets you there.
It gets you there. Or on Spotify, where we have the video podcast on there, but you can minimize Spotify, play us on in the background, and you can listen to us as an audio-only podcast. Also, at the same time, you can bring us on the go with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay through Spotify as well.
That's right. Lots of ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. But if you want to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories, you can find us individually on Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on Twitter. Let us know what's happening. But we got to wrap this up. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.